Welcome back to the show. We're talking at the same time. Can you listen to both of us at the same time?
What's up? How's it going, everybody? Welcome back once again to Unsolicited Conjecture. I am, of course, Josh.
He is, and I am Jeremy, in case you didn't know.
That's how this whole thing works.
Indeed. So, what are we going to be talking about?
Tonight,
what are we going to be
tonight
talking
on
about?
Unsolicited Conjecture,
Yeah.
we got Uncharted.
The movie, not the game.
Yep. We're going to talk about it. We saw it.
We did see it. I saw it. I saw it first. Can I rub that in? I saw it first.
You saw it 2 days before me.
That's right. I win. And we're also going to talk about a little DC.
We're going to talk about
news.
Yeah, we got some DC news. We got some Marvel news.
Got
we
some
got
Marvel news.
some fun retro stuff. And maybe a little bit of Star Wars. Or a lot of Star Wars.
Definitely some Star Wars.
All of that and more tonight on Unsolicited Conjecture.
Music. Welcome back to the show, everyone. As we just said, we're going to get straight into Uncharted. That's the first thing we're going to talk about.
So, Jeremy.
Yeah.
Video game movies. That's what we're talking about.
They exist.
Video game movies. Sometimes movies are made from books. Other times they're made from TV shows. In this case, they're made from video games. And honestly, most of the time, video game movies, pretty bad. Just across the board.
Yeah.
It's a uphill battle making a video game movie because anybody who's played your video game has experienced the video game as the protagonist.
And a lot, usually.
Yeah, and for a lot more.
They probably know your video game better than you do,
People
actually.
It's a first-person experience playing a game.
For sure. I never played any of them personally.
When you make a Warcraft movie and all of a sudden you're like, who are these jackasses? That's not me. I know for a fact that's not me.
The Warcraft movie.
Yeah, what was the other one? It wasn't Assassin's Creed. They did do Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, there was an Assassin's Creed movie.
That was dumb.
There was also all the Final Fantasy movies, but those are graphically
they're
induced.
their own thing.
Yeah, this was the first PlayStation production.
This was the first movie done by PlayStation Productions.
Yep. And Josh and I disagree a little bit, but I think the first 5 minutes of it, you can tell it was done by PlayStation Productions. PlayStation, heavy emphasis.
Yeah, Jeremy didn't like the CG
No.
with the plane at the beginning.
Yeah.
I didn't even notice it. It didn't bother me.
Yeah.
I was too busy thinking that Tom Holland doesn't look like Nathan Drake. That was my thing. I enjoyed the movie. It was a fun movie.
I agree there.
I don't like either of the leads as the roles that they were
My
cast
wife
in.
thought that Marky Mark was going to be Nathan Drake.
Yeah.
Because she was like, as soon as they showed the video game, when we went and saw it at the Alamo, they roll all these pre-shots, and most of it is about the game itself. So you're seeing all the character roll around, and she's like, "Oh, so is Mark Wahlberg going to be that guy?" And I was like, "Nope."
No.
She was like, "Tom Holland."
It's one of those situations, like, I don't know. So I'm a big fan of the games. I played the first 3 on PlayStation 3. I got the remastered versions on PS4. I've been playing through the first game recently. They're really fun games, but the really fun thing about those games, the thing that I enjoyed most about them is a very cinematic gaming experience, and it's one of the first, I think, PS3 games that really provided that cinematic feel to a game. The way it kind of slips. It doesn't necessarily slip seamlessly between cutscenes, but the way the camera moves, there's really dynamic. Sometimes you're climbing on a thing and the camera pulls way back, and or you're seeing yourself running towards the camera. It does some fun things like that, and it's a very cinematic experience. Plus, most of the games are relatively short. I think they're like 8 hours-ish.
Okay.
So you can play through, and it feels like you're, assuming you don't have it on a difficulty too high for your capabilities. There's a lot of shooting, and obviously there's lots of opportunities to die and fall off cliffs.
As with every game of its sort.
Yes, but it's a fun game. Tom Holland did a good job in the movie. Mark Wahlberg was good.
I was surprised by the lack of action scenes that Mark Wahlberg had, actually.
He didn't do
I was
as
very
much.
surprised by that.
Yeah, he didn't do as much. He had a couple of running scenes.
Yeah, not necessarily a bad thing. There was the one cool fight scene that they were all in together, really.
That's arguably Sully's role in the game, though, too. He's not the player.
Yeah.
He's the old guy who's telling Nathan Drake what to do sometimes, or they're working together. I'm not a huge fan of the casting. The movie was fun. This is, I think, an example of what I have taken to calling the Constantine Paradox. The Constantine Paradox, for anyone who is unfamiliar, which should be all of you because I made it up and haven't told anyone. The Constantine Paradox is a situation wherein the source material is disregarded, yet the movie's still good. So you have your situations where source material is disregarded and it's one of the biggest problems with the film.
Yeah.
There's other times like the Keanu Reeves Constantine movie. It's a great movie. I love that movie.
It is.
He has nothing to do whatsoever with John Constantine. He's not that character. He's not that guy. He's a totally different guy. It's a weird, like, Elseworlds what if situation with Constantine. But the movie really works because, of course, I want to see Keanu Reeves casting spells and, summoning demons and stuff.
That was a really good
It was
movie,
great. The arm tattoo. That's cool. I don't know if that was ever from a comic, but I've read a lot of the Hellblazers and some of the New 52 Constantines and Justice League Darks. I love the character. I just love John Constantine. But Keanu Reeves isn't him. He's Keanu Reeves, but it's still good with Keanu Reeves. So sometimes you can have a good movie without necessarily paying too much attention to what it's supposed to be. And if you can allow yourself to divorce the concept of Uncharted and knowing what Nathan Drake looks like and sounds like, which is an adult man.
Well, yes. Well, I also
You
think
get
what
less
helps,
of that.
the source material and popularity matters a lot when it comes to
Sure.
it. So Constantine, when it came out, it wasn't like Constantine was the largest of superheroes.
Absolutely.
So someone had anything to relate to it. And just like with Uncharted, like I bet the majority of people going to see this movie probably have not played the video game and they're going to see it for the casting.
Or they played the fourth
I'm
game.
sure a lot of people played the game also.
Yeah.
But like I said, my wife, the reason I went and saw it is because my wife wanted to go see it.
Sure.
And she's never played any video game.
That's true. No, and that's the thing. You can
That also allows you to kind of, like I was saying, escape from the initial storyline and plot line so much and not
sure.
have to be as faithful.
No, definitely. And you don't have to be faithful. Sometimes you can't be faithful.
Yeah.
Like telling a movie is different than telling a book.
Yeah.
And now
Telling a book.
You heard it here
Yeah,
first.
you tell books. I thought it was good. The movie, if I had to describe it as anything, it would be like the second National Treasure mashed with Red Faction. If you mash those two
Red
movies
Faction.
together, that's what this movie was for me.
Yeah. Look, you got pirate ships dangling from helicopters.
It was fun. The movie was
I loved it.
definitely fun. It was worth watching for sure.
It's a good cinema
I would
ride.
even say it's even worth watching in the theater. Like, don't wait till it
Yeah.
comes home. Go see
No,
it.
yeah.
It was very cinematic. Like, it was worth watching on the big screen.
It was a fun, big budget movie. Yeah. And it wasn't even that big of a budget. It was, 120 million? It was 120 million. So far, it's at 44. They're expecting about 52 for opening weekend. For
Not so bad.
The 4-day weekend.
They would probably want more, but
That's true. Yeah. I said, casting, you just gotta let it go. Nathan Fillion was not Nathan Drake in the movie. I just have to let that go. But they did that cool fan film with Nathan Fillion, so that's okay.
yeah, it's all right. Casting, you like I said, I think in this situation, casting you can get away with because it was also like it was PlayStation Productions. They were trying to bring in big hitters because they didn't know what was going to happen, but they know for sure if you bring in Spider-Man.
Right now, yeah. I think they're going to do pretty well because Tom Holland's got he's got some charisma,
Yeah,
he's
all over everything.
He's
and then
got the
Zendaya's
goods.
all over everything. So those two together have just
Oh, yeah.
all of a sudden become the new Brangelina, Remember those? When Brad and Angelina got together and they were like the
They
power
were.
couple for a hot minute.
Yeah.
That's them now. So you put Tom Holland in anything, I think it's going to do well. And I think
Yeah.
Sony realized that.
I think he did. He was good in the movie. He's fine.
Oh, yeah, he was great in the
I have
movie.
to forgive him for just not being the Nathan Drake that I really already liked a lot.
Lucky for me, I have no clue who Nathan Drake was prior to this. So as far as I'm concerned, Tom Holland did a good Nathan Drake.
He was fine.
He was who he was.
We did get a fun Nolan North cameo. The guy who's sitting on the beach when they come out of the water. He's the voice of Nathan Drake in the game.
I figured he was someone.
He's like,
as
he
soon
fell
as he
out.
did the move, I was like, he's someone, but I don't know who he is.
Yeah, he said something like, "Oh, I fell out of an airplane," and he said, "Like I did something like that
Yeah.
once." Yeah, that's the voice of the character in the game.
Okay, that makes sense.
But yeah, it was fun stuff. The post-credit scene, they finally gave Sully a mustache. They waited till the post-credit scene, which they put it in the trailer. So they put part of the post-credit scene in the trailer. And that's like the big reveal is, hey, look, he almost looks like the character.
The cat thing was hilarious, man.
Oh,
I don't know
yeah.
if that's in the game, but
No, not that I remember.
it was high comedy for me at that point. It was making me laugh, especially at that end scene.
It was
Man,
fun.
It got
they
me.
got the say hello to your mother for me. Yeah. Oh, hey, Nathan Drake. Say hello to your mother for me.
So that's Uncharted. Go see it. Go see it in the theater. It was a cool watch. If you've played the game or not, it's still going to be good. Go check it out. What's next on the list?
Yeah. Next, we're gonna go. We're gonna talk about some Star Wars.
Star Wars.
All right.
Here we go. Star Wars. Let's do it. Boom.
And we're back talking Star Wars.
Yes, we are.
Okay, so Star Wars. There's been a lot going on. This is a fun time to be a Star Wars fan. There's lots of cool stuff. The Book of Boba Fett. We read it on our TVs.
Yeah.
What'd you think? Book of Boba Fett, the finale.
So I'll tell you what I think is that I love the show, but I hate the name. I wish they would have just called it anything else, because it was only kind of like half about Boba Fett overall. So like I understand how they're kind of changing all of their stories to incorporate more characters, so more of the galaxy's incorporated, so they can do more spin-offs, and all that makes sense. But like I said, I thought the series and the ending were all really, really well done. I mean, we talked about the back and forth in the beginning. That's here nor there. I think the story was awesome. Like I said, I just wish they would have called it, instead of the Book of Boba Fett, called it like the Battle of Tatooine or something stupid. And
Sure.
it would have been you wouldn't have so much of this fan hatred going on, I think.
I think a lot of people are kind of sharing your sentiments. They're confused as to what they were getting and what
Exactly.
the show was really going to be.
Yeah, Boba Fett was always that iconic anti-hero, and he was kind of none of that in this series. Which isn't a bad thing.
Yeah, it isn't. And also the reason why he's not that is because that's exactly what Din Djarin is.
Yeah.
All of that bounty hunter-ness, that's exactly what the Mandalorian is, and we've got 2 seasons of it.
No,
So if
I
they
agree.
introduce Boba Fett and he's what? He's just that, but better?
Yeah.
I don't know what he could have been if he just only had the helmet on and was his still same like bounty hunter, untrustworthy kind of self.
Yeah, it would have
I
been
know
just like
it's not the-
episodes of individual bounty hunts or something.
This show, more than any other, even more than Mandalorian, it's really started to feel almost like Clone Wars in its treatment of. In Clone Wars, sometimes you'd get an episode that was just, I don't know, it would be Mace Windu and Jar Jar, and that was the whole thing. You're
or-
like, where's the main characters?
I'm actually watching the Clone Wars for the first time right now, and there was an episode where it was just all the R2-D2 style mech droids.
Just the droids, yeah.
Just the droid, and that little tiny like general guy, and I'm like, man, it was comical. I'm not gonna lie, it did make me laugh a little, but at the same time, I was like, what is this?
Yeah.
I don't need this.
So, here's what I think happened. First of all, when I remember back when we were first hearing rumors about going to be a Boba Fett series,
Yeah.
it was supposed to be 4 episodes. If it was only going to be 4 episodes, it would have been the first 4 episodes that were all about Boba Fett.
Yeah.
I think they probably had that, and then they're like, hey, but, everybody loves that Baby Yoda.
That's the truth.
I think Disney wanted a little Baby Yoda. I think it's been a year since we got season 2 in real times. They wanted us to give it a little Mando taste. The other thing, it is the book of Boba Fett. And when you read a book, very commonly you'll get an entire chapter that has nothing to do with the main character.
That's accurate, but when you get
Because of
so
books.
many chapters.
Well, we got 4 episodes that were all entirely about Boba Fett. And then we got 1 about Din, and then we got 1 about Grogu, and then we got the finale, which brought everybody together.
Yes.
I've said before when we were talking about it, I didn't necessarily love the non-linear aspects. I think you could have told the story differently, added little bits of Din Djarin and Grogu in here and there throughout the whole season, and it would have felt more narratively smooth, as opposed to a whole bunch of Boba
2 different
Fett,
shows.
and then here now we're in Mandalorian season 2.5.
Yeah.
And you have to see this.
Yeah, for
otherwise,
the next Mandalorian to make any sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's all just Star Wars, and that's really the thing. It's all just Star Wars. Regardless of what the show's called, whether it's Clone Wars or Force Awakens or this Book of Boba Fett, the story they're going to tell is just Star Wars.
I think they messed up by calling it the Book of Boba Fett. That's what I think.
Yeah, there's other ways there's things they could have done. People have some complaints about some of the with the director. Who was the showrunner for this one? I can't even remember now. Robert Rodriguez. I guess, see, I only really know Robert Rodriguez from, like,
horror.
The horror. Yeah, the
that's all I
vampire,
know
his
from
vampire
too.
movies, or the Western, Desperado. I don't know. I've never seen any of the Spy Kids or anything. So
I never saw any
those
of that
tie-ins, or people know his cinematography from those movies. I can't really relate to any of that. But I liked it. I thought, I'd rather have that show than, like, the best episode of The Mentalist. It's a Star Wars TV show. We got to see Boba Fett ride a Rancor. We got to see Luke Skywalker for an entire episode.
Yeah, that was crazy, man.
I mean, we got some great
you got to
Mandalorian
see Grogu flipping around, like flips.
Yeah, we learned more about the Tusken Raiders. Then we got to see, a little more close-up look at, like, what Tatooine is like. It was great. I loved it. We got huts.
They introduced some new species style, too, that they never put in the series before.
Yeah, we got fun Twi'leks. We got, like I said, we got 2 huts.
Yeah.
There's some really cool stuff in this show.
2 huts together on the same board. They were heavy.
On the same litter. Those guys, their legs were working overtime, carrying them around. Yeah, fun show. I liked it overall.
Yep, I agree.
I'm going to always be pro Star Wars.
I'm not always going to be pro. If they mess it up, I'm going to say what's up.
Sure.
The only thing they messed up was calling it the Book of Boba Fett. Call it the Book of Tatooine or something stupid, and that makes more sense.
Yeah, but it was primarily, I see, once again, if they hadn't done the weird half flashback, half present day thing, they could have told this story
in a more linear fashion.
And sprinkled a little bit of Din Djarin in, so maybe 5 minutes an episode we're gonna see what's up with Din.
Yeah. They keep showing him for a reason. He's coming back.
But they went. I don't know why they made those choices. Hopefully we'll learn stuff eventually.
All right, well, y'all just let us know what we got wrong and complain down below.
Yeah, but, like, the complaints about, like, Cad Bane. Like, and then everybody's saying,
he's an old man now. What do you want?
He's 80
what do you want
years
him to look
old,
like? He's literally
also,
the oldest one of his species, I think.
That's a person wearing makeup.
Yeah.
You can't put your mouth on the bottom of your chin when you're a human with a face because you have a skeletal structure. So there's only certain things you could do with special effects makeup.
People are crazy,
maybe you could digitally move. I thought he looked great. I thought he did so happy to see Cad Bane.
I didn't even look at his mouth because his eyes were so crazy.
Yeah, good stuff though.
Yeah,
the whole show, lots of fun. But we got
coming up.
Fallen Order 2 is coming.
Bad Batch
on May the 4th.
Then Kenobi
on May 25th. The original Star Wars day.
That's the one right there.
Kenobi's going to be big. I'm really excited.
I saw a thing that said that they put it to that date because that was the first time he was ever released to the public.
It was the anniversary of A New Hope.
Exactly.
It was, May 25th. So May 25th had traditionally been Star Wars Day before everybody jumped on the May the 4th pun.
Okay.
Before that, because that's relatively recent, isn't it?
I don't know. You tell me.
I don't think it's like 20 years or something,
20 years, real recent.
I don't think we were celebrating May the 4th when, like, the prequels were coming out.
Yeah, I think it was just about the release dates, too.
So that's pretty fun. But Fallen Order 2, the game coming, Kenobi coming.
We don't know anything more about Ahsoka yet, do we?
We know a little bit. We talked about the casting
Oh,
last
that's
time.
right. That's right. We did.
But an actress named Chloe Fineman from SNL has been cast as a young Pelimoto.
Okay.
And she will show up in the Kenobi series.
Nice.
So we're getting some more Pelimoto, which I'm excited for that. We got Rupert Friend in the show, who's apparently going to be the Grand Inquisitor.
Okay.
Which is going to be pretty fun in Kenobi. And we got Moses Ingram, who I think is going to be a young Ahsoka. Because it's been confirmed we're going to get flashbacks of Anakin and Obi-Wan in their Clone Wars days.
In the real
in
life.
Kenobi.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're actually going to see
exciting.
some real life Clone Wars stuff with Ahsoka, probably a whole bunch of Tim Morrisons. That's all that it's going to be fun. That's going to be really good.
That sounds fun.
Okay, two more Star Wars things we can do. There's a new book called The Princess and the Scoundrel.
One that you can actually read, not read on your TV.
Yes, this is a real book, not like the book of Boba Fett.
Yes.
Boba Fett is not in it.
Well, they might be. You don't know. Half the
Fett.
book might be about Boba Fett.
Maybe it is. That's where he went.
That's how they're doing
for
it.
the second half of the season. He was. So anyway, this book, the Princess and the Scoundrel, just came out. New Disney canon novel, and this is
sounds like a Disney novel. All right.
Well, this is going to track the wedding and honeymoon of Han and Leia, Princess Leia, famous characters from Star Wars.
Yeah, they just want to be able to deep fake a whole lot more, huh?
Well, I don't know if they're going to be making this movie, but where do you think? Because I'll tell you right now, Han proposes on Endor right after the second Death Star's blown up. They're still with the Ewoks. He proposes. They get married like there. All right, where do you think they take their honeymoon?
Tatooine.
Tatooine? Final answer.
No.
Actually, Han and Leia will be spending time on the beautiful Halcyon Star Cruiser Hotel.
Sounds lame.
The new Disney Star Wars hotel is where Han and Leia are having their honeymoon.
Oh, the one that you can, it's like $5,000
product
per person
integration.
For the experience?
Yes. So maybe you'll be able to rent the honeymoon suite where Han and Leia.
Yeah, we should start like a Patreon or a GoFundMe to take the show to the experience.
Oh, yeah.
Record the whole thing.
Sure.
Yeah.
If any of you want to pay us to go there, we'll go to Galaxy's Edge and then set up a green screen.
Yeah, we will.
But I promise we
will
there.
do it for you. It sounds hard. It sounds like a lot of work. But if you want us there, we'll make it happen.
We will. It's true.
Just give us your money.
So yeah, some fans a little bummed. Also because like there was another book called The Courtship of Princess Leia, which was an old canon Star Wars book that already did this, and the author of that book died last week.
Oh, great.
So weird timing, and they used the phrase "the courtship of Princess Leia" in the announcement for this book. They use those words in that order, but they don't reference the old book or
Disney's
the author that
smart,
died.
Man, they know what they're doing there. They're
Smart.
They're keying in all those search words.
Smart.
They know what they're doing.
Emotionless, cold,
Rich.
profit-driven. Sure, all those things.
Monopoly.
So there you go. That's pretty fun. So now you can go and have your honeymoon
Just like
same
them.
place Han Solo did.
Hooray.
And you can have lightsaber training.
All right, now that we're all done with that exciting Star Wars news.
The last thing,
there's more. There's
one other
more.
Star Wars. Do you love Star Wars, Jeremy?
No, what is Star Wars?
Are you ready for the Snyder cut of Star Wars?
Is that actually happening?
The Star Wars Snyder cut? Oh, yes.
This sounds real fake.
It's real.
Real.
That's the thing. So, Zack Snyder pitched a Star Wars movie. He wanted to make a Star Wars movie, and he pitched it to Disney, and they didn't want to do it. So what does Zack Snyder do? He did the Snyder cut of Star Wars, and he's just making it his own property. So it's not Star Wars, but he's making a movie that was originally a Star Wars pitch and now is becoming its own thing.
So they're going to be fighting with light swords, and
I don't know if they'll keep the Jedi or if there'll be anything like that or not, but it's called Rebel Moon. So Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon.
Not Moonfall.
No, that's different.
Zack Snyder cut Moonfall.
No, it's 5 hours long. and the moon is in black and white. But it is in 4:3 to protect Zack Snyder's artistic vision.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so we're gonna see a Zack Snyder knockoff Star Wars movie coming pretty soon, and Cyborg Ray Fisher
is that actually happening?
He's gonna be in it. Yeah, I think it's going to Netflix.
He's gonna be in it. Okay.
Yeah. So Zack Snyder bringing Ray Fisher over to the fake Star Wars universe.
There you go.
Fake Star Wars.
So be on the lookout for Far Wars coming up.
Yes, Zack Snyder's
fake
Star Wars story by Zack Snyder.
Now that we're talking about Zack Snyder, on to DC news.
DC Comics. And Jeremy.
Josh.
How about that Peacemaker? What you think?
You know, let me set this beverage down real quick. I actually really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
The first episode, I didn't know what I was going to think of it, honestly. Especially the dance scene choreography, main theme, like whatever you call that.
Yeah, the opening credits.
That's it. There we go, man. The first time I watched it, me and my wife were looking at each other like, this is some crazy shit right now.
What is happening?
But by the season finale, I couldn't skip it. I had to watch it.
It's so
I don't
good.
know why. It's
the
like
song is great.
It's so bad. It's great.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
But the music throughout the whole series, once again, like he knows where it's at when it comes to music.
Oh,
All of his films are on point there. The cinematography, really good. I love the colors of it too. I noticed
very bright.
In Suicide Squad, when they throw the flashbacks into there, you could see how much worse the grading in Suicide Squad was compared to the color work in the HBO series, which I thought was weird.
Yeah, well, TV's generally a little, they always go a little bit brighter and
no,
more
well, I mean like the
saturated.
actual grading itself. So like, I'm pretty sure they were both edited in Resolve, which is the same program we use.
I have no idea what they're doing Disney stuff in.
I'm pretty sure that's what all of these are edited in. But you could see when they would do the flashbacks of Suicide Squad, the way it would miss color tones in their skin, like especially down here in the beard line for men. But in the series, they fixed all that. All the colors were spot on. So that was one thing that stuck out a lot to me personally when watching it, is every time they throw those back in there, I'd be like, man, I never noticed how bad Suicide Squad was graded until they threw it up against this perfect looking footage because the tonality throughout the whole thing was really, really good. Spot on.
I had so much fun with that show.
It was,
I
man.
really enjoyed it. And coming off of the Suicide Squad movie, look, I was never a huge Suicide Squad fan to begin with, and then they made the David Ayer one, and I was like, well, that's all right, that's dumb, because they just stole the Justice League Dark story and gave it to Harley Quinn because she could fight a witch for some reason. It was dumb. I didn't like it that much.
Don't forget Lizard Man.
If you're bringing James Gunn into DC, why are you just making another Suicide Squad? We just did it. Just let the property rest and do one of the hundreds of other
Come
DC
back
properties
to it later.
So I was not super stoked on another Suicide Squad movie, even if it was better, and it was much, much better.
For sure.
I love James Gunn. He's really funny. He's got a great eye. He knows comedy. He knows how to make a good action comedy movie.
Dude, the scene in Suicide Squad where Harley Quinn is rolling around with the javelin and destroying those dudes in the hallway and the flowers for blood, that was such a hot piece of cinema right there.
Yeah, there's
so well handled.
But just the finale, the ending, fighting the giant starfish. One-eyed, that's such a Ghostbusters kind of Marshmallow Man moment, and I love it. I
thought it was funny. I love that. I'm finally a superhero. Smash.
And you get some of that. You get a lot of that in the finale of Peacemaker too.
Yeah, throughout the whole
some
series, really, you get a lot. The butterflies themselves, that whole thing is very big eye starfishy.
Oh yeah, and the cow. The cow was hilarious.
Dude, the cow, the part where the chick exploded, his goofy helmets,
human torpedo helmet.
I honestly, off of Suicide Squad, I was not looking forward to a Peacemaker series. I was like, look, I like John Cena and a whole lot of stuff, but the character Peacemaker, I don't know where anyone is going to take this. Who is going to want to watch this guy on screen for an hour a day, 8 times in a row? hero. But man, he proved me wrong. They
Well,
pulled
you're
it
like,
off.
this is the guy that just killed Rick Flag too.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. They just
why-
completely rehabilitated this character in
because
one
they
series.
showed you where he comes from.
Yep.
Once you see his dad, and the T-1000 was great in this. His name was Robert Patrick. T-1000. He was like chilling. He was very evil.
Yep.
He was a great villain for this series.
Even though his costume was whack.
I didn't mind. He looked. It's screen
calling it
accurate,
whack.
man. It's screen accurate to the comics.
Okay, it
It's
might be
perfect.
I didn't know what the comics looked like. When I
they
saw his
leaned into
costume
it.
the first time, I'm like, man,
Hey.
okay, White Dragon.
White Dragon.
White Dragon.
It was great. There was a little fan backlash to the finale though.
Oh.
And the Justice League.
I
Spoilers.
thought that was hilarious.
I
Personally.
thought it was hilarious too.
I loved it.
Yeah, paying off on some rumors. There were some fans upset that the Justice League was treated like a punchline.
They are a punchline. All of this is a punchline.
It should be. Yeah. I mean, if you're gonna,
Look who is
Aquaman
directing
fucks fish.
this series. Mr. Punchline.
Yeah.
Is doing this.
I liked it. I thought it was really funny.
I agree wholeheartedly.
But
Solid piece of work.
season 2 is confirmed.
Yep.
We're getting season 2. It had the biggest single day performance for a Max original series, and it was up 44% over the first episode. So many more people tuned into the finale.
Which just show everyone started just like us, like, who's going to watch this? And then they actually sat down and watched it, and they were like, wow, this is actually pretty solid.
The other fun thing with this, Jennifer Holland, who plays Amelia Harcourt in the show, she and James Gunn are engaged. They just got engaged.
Oh, I wonder how she got the role. No,
I think they shot the show first, it seems like. But yeah, a little maybe on-set romance.
Maybe.
And,
good for him. That's
so,
awesome.
yeah,
Good for both of them, actually.
congratulations to the lucky, famous, rich couple.
For what it's worth from us. Congratulations.
Yeah. Well, obviously, they're watching.
Yeah, I hope so.
We're saying their names. Of course, they're watching.
They're like Candyman. We said their names 3 times, so they must watch.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But you know what else?
Why don't you tell me, Black Adam?
Flash.
Okay,
Oh.
we're going Black. Let's go Flash. We can go Flash.
He runs really fast.
He also shows off his ring while stalking KKK members.
Yeah.
On Instagram.
Did we talk about all that on the show?
No, I don't think we actually brought it up. We meant to talk about it.
Okay.
We just didn't get to it.
So yeah, the Flash is coming out. It's gonna be a retelling of Flashpoint. Ezra Miller is the Flash,
in real life.
and yeah, he's threatening KKK members on Instagram,
With his flash ring. Like
With
this.
his ring.
Like, I remember it like this. Just
saying
like this.
like, you know what you did, and if you don't mind, just kill yourselves. Otherwise, we'll do it for you. I don't know who we is.
Yeah,
Is it the Justice League?
I have no clue who he is talking to in the video because he never says a name.
He calls out a
anything.
very specific chapter of the KKK. Was it in Georgia or somewhere?
Well, what I mean is I don't know what they did.
No, I don't either. No
Like,
one knows
other
the
than existing, but I'm sure they've existed for a long time.
Yeah,
so what is it
probably.
that finally set him off?
I don't know, but the Flash is on the case. That's what's important.
That is important.
So yeah, maybe he's a little unstable. Who knows? But
I blame it on the Keats. Michael Keaton. He did
yeah,
it.
we're getting Michael Keaton.
Hooray.
So this is Flashpoint. Barry Allen's mom dies when he's a kid, and he learns he can run back in time.
Is he getting the
and-
yellow suit? No, it's staying
Well,
red.
Who? The Flash?
Flash.
Well, the reverse Flash. I
Yeah,
don't know if there
that's
will
what
be
I
a
meant.
reverse Flash or not. Maybe.
I just assumed since they were tackling the whole
That's
death
the
of
villain
the
in the
mom.
show and in the comics. Yeah,
Yeah.
the Eobard Thawne, the Reverse Flash, is also there because that's the baby Hitler of the Flash universe.
Yeah.
where all the time travelers would go.
Uh-huh.
So to try and save or kill Barry's mom. But basically,
It's the apex.
yeah, he goes back in time and he changes things, and then it's unrecognizable when he comes back. So if he saves his mom, apparently that puts him in the Michael Keaton Batman
Is
universe.
that what's happening?
That's what it seems like.
Okay.
Feels a little bit like a consolation prize. I'm a little bummed out just because, I don't know. Imagine if they showed Thanos in the Avengers movie and then they just scrapped it and did something different instead.
Yeah.
We saw Darkseid. You're not going to make the Justice League movie with Darkseid that all this was leading up to.
Yeah.
there's also, we're going to get a Supergirl.
Well, haven't they been making this movie for a long time also? Like, hasn't it been in production for like 5 years or something
and
like
I think
that?
there's been a bunch of different versions. They just have no faith in their properties. I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, they don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're doing, I think.
If you ask me what about Michael Keaton coming back as like a Batman Beyond style Bruce Wayne for a Batgirl, that's the Batgirl movie.
Yeah.
He's going to be in that too. Great. Cool. But I love Michael Keaton as Batman. I love the Michael Keaton Batman movies.
Isn't there a Batgirl show also?
There's a Batwoman series, which is a CW
Yeah,
spin-off.
it's got, what's her name?
It started with Ruby Rose.
Ruby Rose,
and
that's
then,
her name.
There's a different girl now. Ruby
Okay.
Rose left after the first season. So there goes a new Batgirl, or Batwoman. Batgirl is another movie, and her name is Leslie Grace. The costume looks really good. She's got the purple costume, like the leather jacket. It looks pretty fun. But that's also going to have Bruce Wayne, Michael Keaton. It's great.
That's fine as an old man Batman. That's cool.
I don't know. Like, Michael Keaton is awesome, and he was great as Batman. There was a big uproar in '89 when he was cast and said, no, that guy shouldn't be Batman. And then he turned in a great movie.
I know. Ask Nick Culpepper. He'll tell you who his favorite is. Val Kilmer.
Val Kilmer.
That's his favorite.
Nick.
He loves Val Kilmer. I hope you're watching this right now, Nick. Yeah.
No, I don't. I mean, I get it.
It's good. That's his favorite.
That was my favorite Batman movie too, growing up. I mean, it wasn't because of Val Kilmer, but the Riddler.
Don't lie, it was. Speaking of new Batman, man, I hate to just change topic like that, but it looks good.
The Batman?
Yeah.
The Batman?
The only one that's ever existed.
Yeah, the Batman is coming.
I
it's
just
coming
saw
in
the
March
trailer
4th.
yesterday, and I was like, hot.
3 hours long.
What?
Yep. 3 hours long. Runtime.
Wow.
Longer than Endgame.
Is there going to be an intermission when I go see it?
And there will not. So don't buy a soda.
Buy a beer.
I'm excited for it, but it's the 9th Batman movie.
Nope, I dig that.
We've already seen, what was the Dark Knight Rises? Oh, that movie was like a 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
So what is this? This one's it's going to push the envelope to 9.6.
I dig what you mean.
Another great Batman movie.
I dig it.
Sure, great Batman.
I hope his Batman voice is better than Christian Bale's.
I'm sure he's going to be great. Robat, Bat and Bat.
Bat and Bat.
That's
the best one.
Courtesy of Mr. Sunday Movies, that joke. The Batfleck. No more Batfleck. We're getting Robert Pattinson, who is Robat, Bat and Bat.
I'll be honest. Like,
3 bats.
That's why I'm excited about Batman, because it's no longer Batfleck.
I loved Batfleck.
I love
him.
Ben Affleck, but not as Batman.
I thought he was perfect. In the Snyder cut, he is like the animated Batman to me. The animated series.
He was just all right.
I loved him. I loved how they tied in some of the Frank Miller Dark Knight Returns into the costume design, into the character, the older, gruffer Batman who knows his days are numbered.
Yeah.
Like I thought he was perfect. His scene in Batman v Superman when he's saving Martha.
Your mom's got my mom's name.
But that's the best Batman
scene. Storylines that I hated so much about the new Batman.
What, you didn't love the burning? He killing people. He didn't give a shit. I loved him. I thought he was a great Batman. Because you know what? You know who else killed a bunch of people? Michael Keaton. Michael Keaton, Batman.
That's cool.
He killed all kinds of people.
Killed a bunch of people as Vulture too.
He's like, no guns. When Michael Keaton had literal machine guns popping out of his. He killed all kinds of clowns. He killed everybody. It was great. He killed the Joker in the first movie.
Did he?
Yeah. Remember?
No, I don't.
Joker's
It's been a long time since I've seen it.
Oh, the Joker is hanging on to a rope ladder from the helicopter. And
Oh,
remember, they're up on the roof of the
you're right.
cathedral? He's hanging on, and Batman shoots his grappling hook at the Joker's feet. It tangles up in his feet, and then the other end hooks onto a giant gargoyle, which he pulls him off. So he's just dangling there with a giant weight attached to his feet, and it pulls him to the ground. Yeah, and then remember the chattery teeth. He had the little teeth.
It's been a long time since I've seen it.
That's what they do.
So you're excited?
I'm excited, but also
you're not excited.
I'm excited, but also bummed out because I like the Snyder stuff. I think it's the best DC movies that they've done. Like, it's the best, like, the most accurate representation of what those comics are like. At least the ones I've read. That's what it feels like to read DC comics, is to watch a Snyder movie.
No, I understand. DC's like, they're very gritty.
I just wish they would have continued.
Usually.
They already were on such a like accelerated path compared to Marvel. They did Superman, Batman v Superman, Justice League, as opposed to
and Wonder Woman,
a movie for everybody, then the Avengers. You know, so they were already on such an accelerated path. They could have just kept telling the story, and I wish they had. But maybe there's a little backdoor coming with Black Adam.
Who knows? I know his costume looks awesome.
Black Adam, we got some teaser footage of that. It looks fun. I think it's going to be fun. The Rock with Shazam powers, but the most interesting thing to me is The Rock, in order for Warner Brothers to get The Rock and to do this, he's been pushing this movie for years and years and years.
Oh, really?
But The Rock has like 100% creative control over his movies. And this movie...
I had no clue about that.
This movie's going to come out, and he's said a bunch of times for the sequel, he wants to fight the Justice League. Henry Cavill, Ben Affleck, he wanted to fight that Snyder Justice League.
Dude, Henry Cavill is just killing it right
Which
now.
would be,
I
feel so bad for him. Like, he's doing great in other stuff, but he just wants to be a fun, happy Superman. Yep. He just wants to be a hopeful Superman, and every single time he couldn't almost do something fun. He doesn't do the Shazam. He cut his head off in that. He's always just a silhouette in Peacemaker. Like, let Henry Cavill be a happy, fun Superman. Just let him.
I know. He's killing in The Witcher right now, though, man.
Witcher, yeah. He's great. And he loves Witcher, too, which is...
I know. I love reading all the stories about him, like, schooling everyone on actual Witcher knowledge.
Yeah, he's like the subject matter
maybe we
expert.
should change this because of this, this, and this. It's like, that's awesome when you have someone playing that role that knows so much about that role that they can be just so intertwined with it. I just think it's cool.
Yeah. But lastly, back to the Batman.
Yeah, okay.
We know the Batman is going to be fighting
the Riddler,
the
right?
Riddler,
who
wears a bag on his head. Paul Dano. Paul Dano's great. He was amazing in that Beach Boys movie.
I also love that bag. It's been in a lot of movies. It's good.
The one on his head?
Yeah. I've seen it before.
Nice green bag. It looks cool. We're going to get a lot of villains. We get crazy stuff, obviously. We got Colin Farrell in a fat suit as the Penguin.
Is that what's happening?
That's Colin Farrell as the Penguin.
Isn't the Joker in it somewhere, too?
Well, that's the thing. Good old, everyone's favorite Eternal... Druig, everyone's favorite Eternal, played by Barry Keoghan, something, I don't know, Scottish probably, but he is apparently this is the second possible leak that he might be playing the Joker in this movie.
Okay.
First up, I think his brother tweeted something, basically to the effect of, my brother's the Joker, and then it got deleted right away. But so that
somebody screenshotted it.
We don't know if that's true or not, but apparently the credits list dropped or leaked from the movie, and he's credited as an unseen Arkham inmate. And then there's
an unseen. If you're unseen, how would you be in the
unseen film? Arkham prisoner? And then there's also a person who is credited with designing the prosthetics for the unseen Arkham prisoner. So
if you're unseen, how are you in the film, though?
If you're unseen, why do you need prosthetics?
Yeah, all of that.
You
doesn't
can't
make
see
sense.
them.
Yeah, you can't see anything.
Which makes you think that maybe he is seen.
They're lying.
Otherwise, don't bother with the prosthetics. I don't know. We'll find out.
I mean, they could probably save money that way if you're unseen to not make prosthetics.
Just don't put them in
characters.
The movie.
Yeah.
There you go. The next Iron Man.
Put
movie.
them in prosthetics. All right, now go hang out behind the other side of the camera. No, you're not seen in this shot.
Yeah. Just be unseen.
Yeah.
The unseen. So yeah, there you go. I also heard a rumor that like there were different cuts. They had a bunch of different cuts of this movie, and one of them had a character in it, and one didn't. I think inferring the one maybe had Joker and one didn't have Joker, and we don't know which one we're getting.
Okay.
So maybe he is unseen. Maybe they did it and shot a bunch of stuff, but they're not using it. I don't know. The movie's 3 hours long. It's supposed to be a fun, like, detective story. We haven't really seen a detective Batman. I'm all for it. But also, it's another Batman movie.
Yep.
There's been a lot of things.
Just another spin.
Let James Gunn do Justice League Dark. That's what I say.
Yeah, just let James Gunn take over the DC like like Favreau took over Star Wars.
Yeah.
And Disney.
But you know what? Now let's go back to
Marvel?
Back to the future. And in retro news, that's what we're talking now. We're going to talk about some fun stuff. A little Ghostbusters.
Are you surprised we're talking about Ghostbusters news?
You shouldn't be. Ghostbusters, some fun Ghostbusters news. I read this the other week. Dan Aykroyd wrote a Ghostbusters prequel set in 1969.
Not the hell one.
No, this is recent. He recently wrote a Ghostbusters prequel set in 1969 about Ray, Peter, and Egon, I guess, in high school or early college.
Dan's just been sitting around sipping on his Crystal Skull vodka, writing prequels for Ghostbusters.
I mean, the problem, of course, being that we see the first time they ever see a ghost in the movie in 1983 or 1984.
Yeah.
So if this is 1969,
it's just them hanging out in high school together.
Hey, it's a bunch of guys not busting ghosts.
Yeah, exactly.
Remember when they busted ghosts? You're gonna love this. Get this. There's no ghosts in it.
This is way before Ghost. This is them doing math homework.
So he wrote this, and this is I guess before.
It's gonna be like Fast Times at Ridgemont High, but Ghostbusters.
Or, yeah, it's gonna be half Animal House and half Ghostbusters, or the Animal House, or the Ghostbusters characters. Maybe they'll cross over with a young John Belushi.
I'm already not liking this.
No, well, it's not gonna happen. He was pitching it. This is another Uncle Dan rumor. He was saying he wrote it. He also says it could be followed up by a TV series, so he wrote it for a movie. During the video I saw when he was talking about it, Ivan Reitman was standing next to him and just sort of nodding.
Did he just pass away?
He did.
Man, that's sad.
That was next. But
sorry,
I
destroyed that plot line for you.
Yeah, unfortunately, we lost Ivan Reitman. It's very sad. I'm glad that the movie came out.
Yeah, he got to see it.
He got to see it.
Good.
He got to see his son take the reins of his property. That's it's definitely sad. Ivan Reitman did some incredible things, some incredible contributions to cinema, and he's definitely going to be missed. But when he was standing next to Dan Aykroyd and he was explaining this to the press, he had a look on his face that like, this is never ever anything that's going to come close to happening. But you're going to tell Dan Aykroyd to shut up?
Yeah.
I mean, come on. So it's not going to happen. But a prequel set in 1969 with the Ghostbusters not busting ghosts.
Glad we don't have to watch that.
However, there was another article a little more recently this week from giantfreakingrobot.com, which is as reliable as we got this covered, meaning to say it's not reliable, really.
Yeah.
But they say that one of their trusted and reliable sources, that there is a Ghostbusters TV show in the works. Now,
we've talked about it with this before.
So has Ghost Core.
Yeah.
They've been talking about it. They were talking about it in 2016. There's been a lot of rumors. It could definitely
2023 on the CW, Ghostbusters High.
I think it's more likely a Netflix kind of situation.
I would hope so. I was making a comical joke there.
Oh,
that
yeah.
Obviously did not hit.
Hey, maybe it will. It'll go straight to the CW. Hopefully it'll be all the Ghostbusters, but in high school. That's what the CW version would be.
Exactly.
It would be the Dan Aykroyd script.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, now here you go. We're caught up. We understand the jokes at the same time. And that's what you want. So yeah, but it was a Ghostbusters TV show. Is it animated? Is it live action?
We don't know
anything.
I don't get to know those things.
mean, obviously it would work. You could do the show. We were saying that right after we saw Afterlife.
Yeah, every episode is a regular ghost.
They should make a show.
And movies are about the special big ghosts.
And you got franchises. You got different places in the country that have ghosts.
Yeah,
there's
all
a whole
kinds of places you
world
can lead
where
it
ghosts could be. So yeah.
Just don't make the high school show, but make all the other shows.
Is it news? No, not really.
But we're talking about it like it is.
Yep. Next up, you know who made a surprise return at the Super Bowl in a non-Super Bowl commercial, an ad timed to happen concurrently with the Super Bowl. DeLorean motor cars.
Oh yeah.
DeLoreans are coming back as an
That's true.
all-electric vehicle
I'm
in
actually stoked about
2022.
that.
Will they still be a full steel body? We don't know.
I
We
doubt
just saw a picture with the gull wings.
Will they
backlit.
still be funding massive amounts of cocaine distribution?
Probably.
I mean,
Let's
that's
hope
what made
it.
them popular the first time.
You know what? If it's not a DeLorean, if the trunk doesn't come full of cocaine.
Yeah, if it doesn't at least test positive from a cotton swab, it's definitely not a DeLorean.
We don't want it. DeLorean. No, but that's fun. So we're going to see a
I
bunch
agree with
of...
that. That's exciting.
Pretty soon, there's going to be a bunch of rich people driving around in DeLoreans again. So cool. Lastly, in our 80s retro news roundup, something decidedly not from the 80s, but from its sequel, the 90s. Jurassic Park Dominion.
Close enough.
Did you see the trailer for Jurassic Park Dominion?
I believe so. Yeah. Did we talk about it? Did we not talk about it?
We talked about the Jurassic Park Dominion prologue that showed the true Jurassic Park prequel, where a T-Rex gets bit by a mosquito.
That's true. We did talk about that and how unneeded it was.
Yeah, well, we don't know.
They should have just released this new one.
Yeah.
'Cause
Well,
it was
now
awesome.
the new one was awesome. It was fun.
Yeah.
Dinosaurs in the snow. I don't get it. I know they released a bunch of dinosaurs at the end of Jedi Fallen Kingdom, Fallen Order. What is it?
Lots of dinosaurs were released at the end
Jurassic
of the Jedi.
Fallen
Yeah.
Order.
Right after Anakin was cut in half.
Yeah.
All the raptors were released into the snow island.
Cal Kestis is a raptor.
Blue is not just the color of the raptor or its name; it's also the color of its future lightsaber.
It's the color of my feelings when I think about it.
It's the color of my feelings when I think about Chris Pratt being in this movie for no reason.
Well, how unimportant
Exactly.
and unnecessary does he feel when Alan Grant is standing there?
I know.
And Alan Grant, Sam Neill looking good.
Yeah, like
Looking
actual
good.
Alan Grant right in
We're
front of
getting
you.
Alan Grant. We got Ellie Sattler back. We got
Everybody.
We got Jeff Goldblum's.
I wonder if the kids are going to make a cameo.
I
Wouldn't that be
wondered,
awesome?
There is a girl who I'm like, is that Jeff Goldblum's daughter?
That
The
would be
grown-up Jeff
great,
Goldblum's
man.
daughter from the second movie does the gymnastics and kicks the raptor. Maybe there's a girl that might be her.
I saw
don't know.
that old picture of Jeff Goldblum where it's like he's sitting to the side with his shirt open. Like that's been trending again recently ever
it's
since
the
that trailer
best.
popped.
I love that one. But yeah, I finally watched Fallen Kingdom. I hadn't seen it, but you gotta get caught up, right?
Sure.
I don't know what was happening in that movie. Remember when it was about dinosaurs and
Yeah.
there weren't good and bad dinosaurs?
Well, everyone knows that raptors are villains.
It's like, no, the raptors are the heroes now. That's the raptors
Oh, yeah.
and the
Well, I thought
T-Rex are the
T-Rex
good
heroes.
guys.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
But the raptors
But
are
the
team
mutant
human now.
dinosaurs are the bad guys. That's
Oh
what
my
it is.
God.
It's bad to be a mutant.
Like the Jurassic Park was about like the audacity of man to try to control nature.
Yeah, all the dinosaurs were kind of bad.
Everyone from the new movies are complicit in doing that, whether it's Chris Pratt or what's her name?
Bryce Howard.
Bryce Dallas Howard from
Bryce
the
Dallas Howard? That's
yeah,
it? Okay.
Bryce. They're just as complicit as Hammond. Like they did a whole park again.
Yeah, again.
After the last one happened like it happened.
While wearing a retro park shirt in the movie.
Yeah, I don't know why we have to have good dinosaurs and bad dinosaurs. It's past a certain level of believability. I guess they've releasing like 20 dinosaurs that you could bring over on a boat into, where were they, like Connecticut or something? I don't know.
It was somewhere
There's
weird.
dinosaurs in the snow now. I'm excited to see them. It'll be fun, I guess.
To be fair, though, this trailer looks a little bit more like all the dinosaurs are the bad guys, except for Blue. It looks like Chris Pratt is reuniting with Blue, somehow got back over from his little baby raptor.
Blue had a baby.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It looks like the whole movie, all the dinosaurs are bad guys except Blue.
Maybe.
That's what I'm hoping for. And then Blue dies at the end, and then there's no more good guy dinosaurs, and they're all just dinosaurs.
It's just like in Godzilla 1. The first Godzilla. Godzilla's the bad guy, but then...
Yeah, but now by the end, Godzilla is a good guy.
Yeah, the King Ghidorah.
Godzilla's come to save us. Yes.
It's like, Yeah, I love all the Godzilla movies too, but come on, Jurassic Park.
I think the trailer for this one looks better than both the last two put together.
Yeah, I hope
I'm
so.
hoping so. I have high hopes for it. This may just be my childhood dreams of wanting the best Jurassic Park movies ever again.
Incredibly extra medium hopes for it. But we're going to see it, and it'll be dinosaurs.
Oh, we're going to see it, all right.
Whatever.
But I paid for the Alamo for a reason. I'm going to see it.
The last one, they're cloning people. They're going to be making Pokemon in this next one. Who knows?
Jurassic Park Clone Wars.
Jurassic Park. He's going to be there you go. It's going to be, there's a whole bunch of Tamora Morrisons in this one.
That's where Boba Fett went.
Yeah.
He went to go clone some dinosaurs to ride on.
Half Raptor and half Tamora Morrison. The helmets are much longer.
Raptora Morrison?
Yeah, there you go.
Raptora Morrison. That's his name.
But lastly, you know what? Let's close out the night with a little Marvel news. Marvelous. All right, and lastly tonight, back to the world of Marvel.
As always, we like to return to Marvel quite often.
A couple of things. The Netflix Marvel shows, Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Iron Fist, Luke Cage, The Defenders.
They're taking Iron Fist just for you. They heard our last podcast, and they're like, yeah, we're going to do that.
All leaving Netflix.
But where are they going to go?
We don't know. I had thought that they were produced by Netflix. It turns out they were not. They were actually produced by ABC, which is owned by Disney.
Oh, perfect. Because they don't own enough.
They were only licensed for distribution by Netflix. So their time has come. And
so they're probably coming to Disney Plus.
Either Disney Plus or Hulu, which I guess is part owned by Disney as well. So
that makes sense because you get the bundle package together.
Yeah. So two things. Number one, we know Moon Knight is coming. Kevin Feige said Moon Knight's going to be brutal. It's going to be violent.
This is the most excited I've been for something Marvel in a hot minute.
And people have been wondering, well, is it going to be on Disney Plus, which is kind of a kid-friendly sort of thing? According to Kevin Feige, yes, they're going for it. It's going to be heavy duty and fun. So if it's going to be brutal, would there be a problem with sitting it next to The Punisher in like an adult 18 plus rated M kind of?
Even Daredevil, in comparison to other Marvel productions, it's gory and it's violent.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, obviously in the Avengers there's violence, but the violence in Daredevil and the Punisher is different.
It's not a person bashing another person in the mouth with their fist. Yeah,
exactly.
He is constantly bleeding out of his mouth in that show. And it's wonderful. It's beautiful.
I love
the way it's done. So maybe they'll land on Hulu. Maybe all the violent kind of stuff will end up in like a mature section of Disney Plus.
That I would like to see, honestly.
It could be either way. But one interesting thing is Marvel apparently confirmed that when Frank Castle returns, when there's a new like John Bernthal series, it's likely going to be on Hulu.
Well, then maybe that does mean that they're all going to Hulu.
Yeah, and obviously it'll be different for different countries. Unless
you're using that VPN.
Yeah. And that's why this episode is sponsored by NordVPN. No, it's not.
But you can sponsor us. We would like that.
Sure. Feel free.
Well, as we said earlier, I don't know if you were listening, but please give us money.
Yeah, do that.
For things.
But yeah, so maybe a new Punisher series was confirmed before we've actually gotten confirmation that Bernthal was coming back. I think they're going to canonize all these shows. I think
it's worth leading.
I think they're all going to be canon to the MCU. But hey, new Punisher series, great. If they fold him in and give him an Iron Man suit or a War Machine suit, even better. That would be a fun story to see. Lots of cool stuff, but I'm not ready for a new Punisher. I think keeping Charlie Cox and keeping Vincent D'Onofrio, I think those series, we're going to start seeing all of them pop up in different shows. Yep. Hopefully we get some Luke Cage and some Jessica Jones, and even I
would love to get some Luke Cage.
Even poor little Danny Rand.
Yeah, you're excited about that. He's all right. I would love to see him do better. I would love to see him afforded the opportunity to do better.
I want to see Marvel do something hard.
Yeah.
and make a bad character good instead of just making an already good character still good.
Well, that's why I love the thought of Marvel coming in hot and doing something more aggressive and violent, like the Daredevil and Punisher series. That's why it's like, it's almost a little sad to think about it going to Hulu instead of it going over to Disney. Because, man, wouldn't it be cool to see something just like Star Wars driven that was very like Punisher and Daredevil styled, like
Star
that
Wars?
kind of violence.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's something we've never really seen in Star
Especially
Wars.
when like Anakin's making his progression to Vader.
Yeah.
To see something really dark that matches that tone.
I
would
think
be cool.
we are much, much more likely to see some really brutal, dark MCU stuff than we will be to see.
But I'm saying if we start in the MCU,
Star
then
Wars
maybe
gore,
it'll start
like,
bleeding over into other Disney properties.
Maybe.
If it's populous.
Maybe. We'll see.
It would be nice. That's all I'm saying.
It would be. But next, next up, back to the Spider-Verse, the Sony Spider-Verse. You know, we got Morbius coming up.
So we've heard a bunch
April
of times.
1st, April Fools.
Yeah.
Go watch Morbius.
Exactly.
April Fools. Andrew Garfield's not in it. So we don't know what's going on with that. But there's now rumors that they're going to be shooting a Madam Web series, which would be kicking off, or a Madam Web movie, which I think Madam Web should be a character in a Spider-Man movie. Madam Web, she's sort of the center of the Spider-Verse.
Maybe they'll introduce her in a movie that's coming that we don't know about yet.
She's the blind lady
Spider
who sits
lady
in a chair and talks to people through time. And she wears a weird like dress. It looks kind of like the cartoon dress that from the Beetlejuice cartoon. Remember the what's her name? Never forget old what's her name.
Yeah.
There you go. Maybe there's a Madam Web series coming. Lastly, we're gonna talk some Multiverse of Madness stuff. Okay, because we're coming up on that too. 2 months, 2 months ish.
I still think about that end little scene that they popped in. The first time you got to see Evil Strange.
Oh, yeah. Well, we got a new trailer, right, over the Super Bowl. Some interesting looking stuff. We heard Patrick Stewart's voice.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Professor X confirmed.
Well, is it actually going to be Professor X?
I mean, I don't think they'd put him in it. You think he's going to be another Ralph Boner? Like WandaVision? Just get ready. This is Captain Dick Butt.
Man, I wonder if they're ever going to bring back if what's her name is going to get her own show from WandaVision.
Oh,
I thought they were
Agatha?
talking about. Yeah, I thought they were talking
sounds like
about
she
that.
is. Yeah, I think she is getting a
That
series.
would be awesome, man.
So, Multiverse of Madness, one of the big rumors is Tobey Maguire slated to show up.
I heard that.
And it's directed by, obviously, Sam Raimi.
Which is why.
The amazing Sam Raimi, who did the other Spider-Man movies. Why would he not?
Well, he's done a lot of stuff.
Why would he not show up in this movie? I think he'll probably show up. But beyond that now, apparently, a Lego set, a leaked Lego set may spoil that there's a Spider-Man in the movie.
Spidey.
This is the problem with product integration.
Yep.
You're going to make toys about your movie. It's got to be made before the movie comes out.
And people going to see that.
Yeah.
That work at the factory.
It's going to happen.
And then they're going to send pictures to their friends.
So maybe Toby, probably. But also...
Maybe Toby, probably, hopefully.
We are... But, yeah, why not? Why wouldn't it be? You know? It seems only logical that there will... It's like saying...
Why wouldn't they have released Morbius already? I mean, it's just why wouldn't they?
But it's like saying maybe there will be a Bruce Campbell cameo.
That would be the best.
There, of course, will be. There's always a Bruce Campbell in every Sam Raimi movie. So why would there not be?
He was in Spider-Man?
He's in Spider-Man all 3 times. He was the ring announcer, he was the maitre d', and he was the maitre d' in 3. And
I remember him as the maitre d'.
And he was the ticket guy at the theater in 2. When he's trying to get in, when he's trying to get in to see Mary Jane's show and he shows up late, it's Bruce Campbell that won't let him in. Yeah, and he was supposed to be in Spider-Man 4 as Mysterio.
He was supposed to be Mysterio?
In the Sam Raimi Spider-Man 4, he was going to be Mysterio in like an opening scene where he just gets captured right away. And then all of his characters, he's been watching Spider-Man like the whole time as all of those guys.
I see. That would have been
great. So maybe there will be some kind of payoff with that. I would like to see him as like an alternate Doctor Strange too.
I think Bruce Campbell should definitely enter the MCU in some way.
Oh, yes.
I think he should come as Ash, but that's just my own personal choice.
I mean, maybe we'll see.
I think we finally need someone in the MCU representing people with chainsaw hands.
Yeah,
there's no one there
there's
doing
no
it
representation.
No representation for chainsaw hands, or for people that cannot pronounce anything for the Necronomicon.
Yeah, those words are hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we'll see that, and Doctor Strange might be looking for a different evil book.
Or the same one. Maybe that's how they integrate.
The Darkhold, the Necronomicon, maybe oh, sorry.
They
get them mixed up. Yeah.
If he passes it over on the chainsaw blade to Strange, that'd be money.
Next up, Ryan Reynolds in the news. Ryan Reynolds under fire.
Uh-oh.
He's not under fire. He's
just not in the movie.
He said, I am not in Multiverse of Madness. So you know what that means.
That means he's in it.
Well, it means nothing at all.
I mean, because Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield also were not in Spider-Man.
Yeah, they sure weren't.
Yeah.
The other thing, I've been feeling a little silly. Like, there's a lot of people who've been doing these deep dives, really breaking down the trailer.
Uh-huh.
How can you ever trust a Marvel trailer ever again?
Yeah.
You know they're lying. There's a scene in the Multiverse of Madness trailer where you see all the chairs and a bunch of them are empty. I guarantee they're not empty. They're not empty chairs.
Yeah.
Like, there's a guy sitting there. They don't want you to see who it is.
Yeah, they just don't want you to know yet.
So, watching this, they know what you know. They know the comics better than we know the comics. They know who we're going to guess. And they're already a step ahead. And they erase things. So, they're just cheating.
Yeah, well, actually, they just don't put that part of the CG in yet.
Yeah, you're not going to get or they just digitally alter the trailer and remove stuff. Like, they could do whatever they want. You can't trust trailers anymore. You're not in the old days. You could catch a little glimpse of something and maybe figure out what was going on because they didn't have the money to redo all the special effects.
Now everything in there they put there on purpose.
It's all suspect. It's all suspect, and they lie. So, all right,
they are Disney.
It's gonna be fun. Ryan Reynolds is not in it. Okay, sure. The time traveling, dimension hopping character isn't going to be in the dimension hopping movie.
He's too busy filming Red Faction 2.
Yeah. The 8K upload, though, of the new Super Bowl trailer was released. And in some of the scenes, it looks like we might be getting a young Kang the Conqueror. So Jonathan Majors, right? From the end of Loki, though He Who Remains. He might be in it.
Wait, is Loki getting another series? Have they?
There's going to be a season 2.
Okay.
Season 2 is happening with Owen Wilson. Will Owen Wilson be in this movie?
Man,
maybe.
He was a good he was a good character.
He was great.
In Loki.
He was a great part of Loki.
He really was.
Lastly, I saw it's going around a couple different articles saying that Multiverse of Madness will merge the Fox, Sony, and MCU universes into one Earth.
Rumors.
Closing the multiverse. I say dumb.
Nope. No.
Doesn't make sense.
Not going to happen.
That made sense maybe for Spider-Man.
Oh, look at that. My camera's blinking at us. It says minute. We can't see how many minutes are there.
We sure can't. But
luckily we were on the last topic.
Yeah, this is kind of the last thing. So I know that would have made sense maybe with Spider-Man.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't see that. It just doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense now. Why would you? They're clearly setting up for a Spider-Verse with a Madam Web. How could you close down the universe? And what, that means Hugh Jackman is going to be the MCU Wolverine who doesn't want to do it?
Yeah, he's
done.
That
doesn't make sense. He might show up. We're going to get little versions of different characters and stuff in this, but no, I think the multiverse will be open for quite a while.
I agree. It's the only way they can accurately bring in other characters without having to necessarily stick directly to the guidelines of their backstory.
Yeah. Well, the first saga, the Infinity Saga, took us all the way through Thanos and the Infinity Stones. I'm assuming this, with the Eternals and everything, is kind of leading up. Oh, we lost a card. There we go. It was just empty.
Well, I guess we're looking at other cameras now. You have to look at your camera, and I have to look at my camera.
I can. Can you hear me?
I hope so.
Can you hear me?
I think so.
Okay. So yeah, that's basically it.
Well, I'm glad we're just going to split screen each other together right now for this last one. Uh-huh. We should do the Constantine tattoo. That's how we join together.
Like to this side. Yeah. That's the wrong arm. I guess
I don't think either camera can see that.
It probably didn't work.
But you know what? We tried anyway.
From all of us here at Unsolicited Conjecture.
All of us, everyone you can't see over there, thank you and thank you and thank you and definitely thank you.
Yeah, this has been a weird and disjointed and chaotic show, and I just want to say to all of you that I don't apologize. And we'll be back whenever we have more stuff to say.
We will. Be on the lookout for more Unsolicited Conjecture.
So peace be with you.
Music! Done, I think.